Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm walking back down to the depot, yeah. That little switch is rolling out now. I had to go uptown and use the bathroom. That little switcher. Rolling out. You have to stop and line the switches and restore the derail. Wait for the conductor and then they'll take off to Greenwood, y'all. Alright, those are grain cars. They come unload at the silo over past Elberton on down into Georgia. Alright, these stopped. I'll get more when I get closer. Alright, I'll get more. Looks like he's shoving backwards. He's probably going to go pick his conductor up. He's got the switch lined and got the derail distorted. He's on the side and shoving south. ES40 DC. So it's 4,000 horsepower DC locomotive. I don't know what ES stands for. Extra sticky traction, I don't know. Alright, he's got his artificial ditch lights on this one. Well, they're not artificial, they're temporary. They're magnetic mount and they plug into the red socket up there to get their power. I'll get more when it gets rolling. Alright, got clear, medium clear signal on the main, on the siding over there. Red over green is medium clear. Let me zoom you in on it. There it is right there. I can't see it hardly. I hear him discharging the air brakes. I can hear the air blowing out. He's rolling down the hill now. He ain't got to do too much pulling. Probably let it roll up to speed and then put on dynamic brakes, because he's got to keep it down to 35. Abbeville switcher rolling to Greenwood. Northbound. Engineer's got his back to us, so he's not waving. Going out on the main line, got medium clear signal. Red over green, red over green over red, both medium clears. He's got grainers on here. They're all empty now. Going back to Maxwell Yard, be put on the train to be carried back to fill them up. Blue EOT. Alright, he has to go like 10 or 15 miles an hour till he clears that signal. As he entered the track without a signal, so he doesn't know what track conditions are. See, when he gets up and gets a signal, he knows what track conditions are. I mean, even though he could see the whole way down, and he had a stop signal, he couldn't go too fast, but he still can't go too fast. Alright, going to Greenwood. He'll be back in a little while. Alright, thank you. God bless y'all. Have fun. The reason I say God bless y'all is because America is one nation under God, and we need to be remembering that. Our God looks out over America, and He looks out over our people. That's why we don't lose wars. Well, we started to losing wars because we turned our back on God. But all the wars that we created, we won. Every time we were attacked, we won. Now, why did the North win over the South? Because the North was freeing the slaves. The South was wrong about that. So when the North did right, God was on their side. When they were doing evil, the South was winning the war. So God was on our side back then. Alright. And the slaves over here, because we are the nation of Israel, and they are Israelites. They are part of the Jews that left from Jerusalem back when Jerusalem was under attack. And God cursed them because they went down into Ethiopia and Egypt trying to flee from their enemies. Instead of resorting to God, they're supposed to be God's people. You always stand up for God, and God will stand up for you. But these people took a curse because they disobeyed God. And if you read your Bible, you would know about that. It's in the book of Jeremiah in the King James Bible. And you gotta have a King James Bible. You gotta have a church that doesn't disobey God. If you got an IRS 501c3 church, it's the one that took God's authority away and gave it to a Luciferian controlled government. Alright, straighten out America. Thank y'all. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's a Friday night. And I started to walk down to the depot. I hear a train coming through. I might be missing it. He blew his horn at Red Street already. He'll be coming down in the cross. I'll see if I can get him. There he goes. Looks like it's a manifest. No, it looks like it's a tanker train that had a covered hopper on the front of it. Well, it's got more of them, so I guess it's a manifest freight. Looks like he's on the main line. Sounds like the engine's coming up. Sounds like it's in dynamic brakes. No, there's just some noisy wheels on them cars. Bottom end going by. Alright, thank y'all. I'm going home. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm down at the depot. I'm standing in the shade. And I am barefoot. I got a train coming out of Greenwood. I heard him blowing, so he ought to be coming up the hill pretty soon. I don't think I would have heard him out on Secession. That's about 3 miles away. So, I assume he's going to be pretty close. Alright, I'll get more when he gets here, y'all. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're enjoying. Alright, this is Sunday, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it's the 22nd of June. Alright, that's all I can think about right now. Alright, he's getting close. Looks like he's on the main line. Looks like a coal train to me. I don't know if it's SCWX or who it is. Number 28. Alright, this is not the SCWX coal train. I don't know where it comes from or where this one goes to. I haven't figured that out yet. Looks like Tubby got to write his name on that one. Got some Cardinal cars. Oh, he's on the side, and he didn't come down the main line. So maybe that means we got a meet here in Abbeville today. Alright, we got engine coming up on the bottom end. Looks like an EMD SC70. SD70 AC, y'all. Alright, thank you. It's been about 30-40 minutes. I hear the northbounder coming through. He's still about 2 miles away though. Maybe 3. I'll get out there and get him. It's a hot day, that's why I'm sitting in the shade, y'all. Sound like somebody's at Red Street now. I don't know if that's the southbounder that came through, still going down. I don't think it is, because I didn't see the tail end of them a while ago when I looked. So maybe this train's closer than what I think. I don't know. I'll get more in a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, he's coming down the hill around the corner. So he's closer than I thought he was. He's saying hello to us. Hello. On this one. He has 44 AHs. Number 9 for y'all counters. Oh, he painted a puppy dog on there. A bunch of tank cars on this one. They're empty. That was loaded. That was loaded. Those are loaded. Empty. These are loaded. Cabrosa Industries. Corn syrup is loaded. Center beam. Sheetrock, I guess. Yep. Hot car, 3257, I don't know what that is. They got books out there tell you what all these placards mean. I don't have one in my possession right now. I got one, but it's not my possession. Alright, bottom end coming by. This one's got a yellow EOT on the bottom end of it. I've never seen one of those. Alright y'all, it's hot. I'm gonna go home get in the shade. Maybe I'll get out here later on. Alright, I'm on McDill Road on the bridge. There's no trains coming. I'm just out filming the tracks. That's Abbeville direction. Behind me was Atlanta direction. I don't hear any trains out here, so I'm not going to get anything. Alright, thank you. Alright, I just got down to the depot. The southbound has stopped right there, but I still got red signals at the north end, so there ought to be a train coming, but he's got to stop again because he doesn't have a signal to go on through the Greenwood, so maybe we're going to have two sets of meets here in Abbeville. I don't know. I'll get more. Alright, thank you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's 12 o'clock. I've been down here for an hour sitting in the shade. Nice hot day. We got a train coming at us. It blowed at Red Street. So here I'll be coming around the corner when I get down there. Alright, hold on. Thank y'all for watching. Sounds like it's in dynamic brakes, quietly coming down the hill over there. It's only quiet over here. Over there is probably noisy. Hi. Beautiful day. No rain. We do have clouds in the sky. And we got trains. If my timing was right, I would have got two of them. When I stopped and took the picture on the bridge out there, if I waited out there for about 30, well, I don't know, almost an hour, I would have caught this one coming underneath because the other one's sitting here in the side. So it wouldn't have been over there. Alright, sounds like it's close to coming around the corner. I don't know. Here he comes. Look at the ditch lights. They're down there by the drawhead. I don't know, is this the Abbeville switcher coming through? They got magnetically mounted ditch lights. Alright, let me zoom this out. It helps take the shake out. Well, that's on the front of a locomotive. Thank you. SC70, conductor's waving. DKPX coal train. I don't know where it comes from, where it goes to. I had somebody wrote a comment on the tank train that keeps coming through here saying that is alcohol, ethanol that's used in the gasoline market. So So maybe there's somebody out there that knows more about this train that could let us all know what it's up to. Got Tubby, 2 Tubbies, 3 Tubbies, so this must go near him somehow. Yeah, you can see the coal road on top. I hope I got that. Hard for me to see the screen that's so bright out here. It's showing reflections on the back of the screen. Alright, friendly engineer and friendly conductor. So I've been on work for about 8 or 9 hours to bringing this train out of Atlanta. It was probably dark when they started. But anyway, they're fixing to be home. They got 13 miles to go. They'll be in Greenwood. That's where the change crew's at, and then they go home to the wife and the family and the house and the dog. Nice, quiet running cars. Had a couple of bads, or one at least flat spot on the wheel. Another flat spot, so I made 2 I've heard on this one. Still it's pretty quiet. 3. Alright, nobody pushing him. I guess he's got 2 powerful locomotives on the head end. An old style blue EOT. EOT is an end of train device. And what it does is the engineer can use it to see how much air he has at the back of the train. And that helps him determine, you know, if he's putting 80 pounds of pressure and then you only got 60 pounds on the back end, you got to go down through there and start checking gaskets on air hoses and stuff. You know, get your air pressure up uniform. The other thing he can do is he got a button on his dashboard, and he can mash that, and that will release all the air from the back side of the train. And what that does, if he did that from the front, you know, if he put his brake handles in emergency, he'd be locking up the front of the train, and the back of the train would be crashing in on it. But if you do it from the back of the train, you're setting it up from the back side, and that stretches the train. It might pull it off in a curve, streamline it on a curve, but if you're on a straightaway, you probably pull your train to a stop, not have any derailments. Now, if the train's in a curve, he could set the emergency off from the back and the front and try to reduce the forces as quickly as they can from both directions. Alright, thank y'all. I gotta go. Lunchtime. Or after lunch. Alright, thank you. Alright, I got to have a switcher coming back today. That's all the cars he got out of Greenwood. Alright, I'll get more. Conductor got off. He's pulling on down. He might be going to get this truck and go pick him up. I'll get more later.